Hi, and welcome to Carolina Varsity's Week 2 of the 2013 football season. I'm Dale Ross, aka Dale Ross, and this is.
I'm Matt Morrow, aka Pitman.
And so we're here to give you information on Week 2 and what happened in Week 1 and what is coming up in Week 2.
All right, we'll take a look at the CMS Best to Last ranking we do every Saturday on a weekly basis. Right now, my top fives: Mallard Creek, Independence, Charlotte Catholic, Huff, and Butler. I think that top five is pretty much the top tier in the city right now. Mallard Creek, even though they struggled, they won down in Dillon. I think that still keeps them in the number one slot. Independence pretty secure, number 2. That offense really shone brightly for me. Catholic winning a big game at home against Gonzaga. Keeps them at number 3, but Huff's right on their heels. That was a close call for me. Huff really impressed me a lot. And the way they came out and just put it to Providence real early, that was real impressive on the road in a big game type atmosphere for them. And Butler doing what they're supposed to do, with West Charlotte, which we pretty much kind of expected. That's got them number 5 for me right now.
My 5 were, of course, Mallard Creek, Independence, Butler, Huff, and Catholic.
Right.
And even though Mallard Creek played a 2A South Carolina team close, that was impressive at Dillon opening night. So I didn't see anything to change my mind there. Independence, very impressive in their opening night win. How about those uniforms? Actually, pretty nice looking jerseys. Butler is, of course, they did what they had to do, and I've got them at 3rd just simply because I have some questions that with new coaching and reloading the new players. I'm not one of those that says just because you won a state championship last year, you're automatically going to be, the number 1 team. You are the team to beat, but that doesn't mean you have the best team. And right now, we don't know if they have the best team. I know that they have a lot to say about it, and guess what? They get a chance to say something about it this Friday night. So they could move up. Huff, I'm like you. I think they're a tough team. Well coached, a lot of athletes, and I think they've just got the kind of mix that could edge out a Catholic in a game. So that's, of course, why I put them above Catholic. I think there's some other teams right on the edge, but those are definitely, I think, in everybody's consensus as we look at everybody that decided to throw their picks up. Those were your top 5.
Yeah, my 6 through 10, Olympic at number 6, West Mac at 7, Rocky River at 8, Providence at 9, and Vance at 10. Now, the way I look at this is, I'm not sure if everyone looks at it the same way I do. It's kind of like a mini power poll for me, just like in Charlotte. So I would say that if these two teams played, this team would beat the teams under them. So in my thought process, I think Olympic would beat West Mac, Rocky River, Providence, and Vance right now. Now, some people may say, well, West Mac has more talent than Olympic. Rocky River is very talented, and in the end, they're going to be above. But I think right now, in terms of if these two teams played, Olympic is a little bit ahead of the teams listed under them.
Okay.
West Mecklenburg, obviously, they did what they needed to do against East Mech. Rocky River, even though they lost, you're playing a state power at home in their Week 1 opener. That's going to be tough for anybody. Providence, I think, will still be a very good team. Losing to Huff, there's no shame in that. And Vance, like we said before, young team, big guys on the line. I got the speedster and Bradley, number 7. If you hadn't seen him, if you want to see somebody run the ball and really get out of there, that's the guy you want to see. New defensive coordinators obviously settling in. They're not blitzing as much, and looks like they're going to be a top 10 team here in Charlotte.
Well, my next 5 were West Mac, Vance, Rocky River, Olympic, and Myers Park.
Yeah.
And so we kind of flip on a couple that I have Olympic down lower because I still have a few questions in my mind about, could their offensive line and defensive lines play against and put enough pressure on West Meck as an example. I think all these teams are real close to each other.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Vance, I have them, of course West Meck, I have them where they are because I believe talent-wise, they're one of the most talented teams. And if everything comes together for them, they're a team that could very easily step up. And all 5 of these teams could step up into that next level.
Yeah.
Vance, of course, has all the size and the speed and aggressiveness and athletes, and depth is really the only thing for them in playing, one of the teams above them. Excuse me. I apologize.
Jumped up there, dude?
Yeah, we might cut that out.
Like Vance that much.
Maybe we'll leave that in there. Rocky River, I'm not giving up on them. I think they, what happened to them Friday night is what I expected to happen. So I want to see a little bit more out of them. Of course, Olympic, I have them where they're at because I do believe they've got huge potential on offense, especially at skill positions. They're probably one of the best teams. They're definitely one of, I'd say probably the 5 best teams skill position-wise in Charlotte, but that O-line has the questions. And Myers Park did impress me. So as I looked at the teams below them, and I see the physicalness of Myers Park, and I see the scheme that Stein's running, and I see how well they executed it in their first ball game. I think the way they executed in their first ball game, they can beat all the teams that are down below them. And look out, it's going to get better.
Well, I've got Myers Park at 11 for those same reasons. Just a slight bit lower. Hopewell at 12, Ardrey 13, Berry 14, and North Meck at 15 are my next 5. Out of that group, I think Berry still has the potential to rise up. I think they've still got that quick strike ability on offense. Defensively, obviously, we've talked about Kaysen Calls at linebacker, the North Carolina commit. Like you said earlier with Vance, depth is their main concern.
Yeah.
I think that may be what holds them back from getting into that top 10 echelon. But if you take them lightly, I think they can pull an upset. My biggest surprise, North Meck moving up to 15 with that win over Lake Norman. They really have improved a good bit since that scrimmage a couple weeks ago.
Well, for me, I'd agree with your North Meck comment. 1-0 right now, and of course they got a tough task this Friday night against Independence.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see how they fare in that. I was Providence, Hopewell, Berry, Ardrey, and North Meck, and of course, Providence is still my dark horse for the Southern Meck 8. If everything comes together for them, they've got the personnel, and I think it's just a matter of the personnel clicking and understanding what they need to do. They're going to be very dangerous. Hopewell's got some potential. I think if Matt can get his offense to click and like kind of what we saw at times in that scrimmage, they've got some skilled players that we're going to expect to see them. Hope in the past have not been a very vertical team, not a passing team, but we're obviously going to see more of that this year. Barry, I agree with you. Lots of youth on that team, and I every time I talk to someone, we're probably the only people that follow West Side football and know anything about it. The rest of you guys don't even want to come across 77 or 85 or when you hit 77, it's like the China, the Great Wall in China. You guys don't come over. So I got to say that because you don't. So some of you talk about what's happening on the west side, but you don't ever watch them. Berry is a lot like the Berry team was with Dawson and Hopper when those guys were sophomores. Yeah. You're looking at the same kind of core of players that I guarantee you there's going to be 2, 3 D1 players here that's going to be talking about the end of next year. next year and as the senior years, good athletes there. Just depth is their problem, and size across the lines is what hurts them against the teams above them. Andre Kell's kind of a disappointment. I thought they'd do a little better.
In our last five, I got South Meck, Harding, West Charlotte, East Meck, and Garinger. Of course, those four teams lost in some tough games in week one. Harding has not played yet. They open up this Friday against Garinger. Interesting thing on Harding, first three games, Garinger, West Charlotte, East Mecklenburg. It's set up for you guys, okay?
Yep. I agree.
And I know some of you over there, and you know, if you want to get out and make a run at something, you know, it's there for the taking. So we'll see how they do this Friday against Garinger. But South Meck, I think, will continue to improve. Like we always say, they've shown improvement already. West Charlotte, they've got some big guys up front. I think they could still win a couple ball games here and there. East Mecklenburg, we talked about them a little earlier. You know, it's kind of tough when you got guys going both ways. And Garinger, a report said they only had maybe 22 kids out there against Hopewell. So if you're at these schools, come out and you know, play. I mean, it's fun. You know, you make some friends. You know, it's a good thing to be a part of a team sport. And
there's positions open for you. I think my final five are the same as yours in the exact same order.
Yeah.
We already talked about South Meck, and you know, South Meck's a team that I think can scoot up into the upper five by the end of the season. Harding, you know, 3-0. That's one game away from being playoff qualified. You probably need about 5 wins to make the playoffs. Somewhere in that 4 to 6 win range is where you typically need to be. So you want to make the playoffs. You know, the first 3 weeks of your season set you up well to make the playoffs. And you just got to pull a win here or there in conference. You know, win 1 or 2 conference games, and you'll be okay.